If you don't know, now you know, people. The Sly Guy podcast is on Patreon, so if you want more bonus content, you want this earlier than it normally comes out, you want bonus episodes, you want the Q&A podcast, you want Dog Walks with Davey, you want flipping the extra Sly Guy podcast, and you want other things like early access to tickets and shows and other things. There may or may not be a show on the 16th and 17th of October that may be recorded for my special. Yeah, it's happening, so I'll see you there. Other than that, you can just get all the biz and nudes and stuff too if you go to patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast, or just follow the link in the description of the podcast wherever you consume this content. This podcast is brought to you in association with Visual Antics. Visual Antics have my range of Sly Guy podcast merchandise available via the link in the description of this video. You have all the range. You have the Physique Guy clothing, you have the Sly Guy logo, as well as the peace sign. It's just, the merch is beautiful, and it's there for you to purchase at visualanticsapparel.com. And if you want 10% off, I'll give it you by using the discount code SLYGUY10 at checkout. Get in, add your basket, fill it up real good, use SLYGUY10 at checkout, and you'll have 10% off your purchase. I mean, what's better than that? It's beautiful apparel. It's visualanticsapparel.com. This podcast is sponsored by Modest Beer. Modest have a website, modestbeer.co.uk. Go there and check out all their stuff. If you want 15% off their merch or just beer, you can use SlyPA15 to check out. That's SlyPA15 to check out. Modest website's in the description of the video too, or the podcast, wherever you get it.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast. I hope you are feeling well. Hope you are good. Hope you are snug. I am feeling especially snug myself because I bought new boxer shorts today. It's been a long time coming, and I purchased them in Marks and Spencer's. Now, 30 quid. They cost me for a pack of 5, which is 6 quid a pair of boxers. But see, to be honest, but the quality and comfort that I get out of Marks and Spencer's boxers are without. It's unmatched. It's like I have an angel hugging my bottom and balls at all times, and that's what I want. I want to feel the love. I want to feel the love in my nether regions all the time, whether that be through wearing I don't know, but I feel good, I feel comfortable, and I feel nice in doing this week's podcast, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? A comfortable, relaxed, feeling good Dave is going to encourage a nice, relaxed, feeling good podcast, isn't it? I haven't been relaxed or feeling good for the majority of the week because I've been without my car for the past 15 days, but I've survived. I've got it back. Bad service, grumpy consumer, and I said retailer, that's not what I am. But we're over it, you know what I mean? I'm letting bygones be bygones. I'm putting that behind me and I'm moving forward. I've got comfy testicles, I've got my car back, and I have a great guest on this week's podcast. One of my favourite guys, one of my best friends in comedy. None other than, is he a man? Is he a myth? Is he a legend? I think he's all those things. It's my friend Alan Irwin. If you don't believe he's a man, a myth, or a legend, I'm sure you will agree he's a very funny guy and a really grumpy, old, bald dude like me. So whenever you get two really grumpy, old, bald dudes, one of two things happen. Either they make out, or either they make a really enjoyable podcast. Thankfully for you guys, we saved the first part of that for off camera, so you don't have to witness it, because it would be a bit gross to behold. But it was a fun episode. It was silly. We had a lot. We gave off about a lot of things. Gen Z, fuck you guys, but you just got it. It was a great episode. We chatted musical taste, concerts. We talked about silly wrestling. Obviously, like, this is almost becoming a wrestling podcast now. But all in all, it was just a fun time on this week's Sly Guy podcast with me, Dave Elliott, your friend, and then my friend, Alan Irwin. Alan has a show in the Sunflower on the 29th of September. I don't even know if by the time this is out there'll be tickets left, but go get your tickets. Go see Alan. Alan is one of my favourite comedians at the minute. Certainly to watch. As a guy, he's as a guy, top bloke. As a comedian, hilarious. What else do you want? It's guaranteed to be a great night. I'm going to be there, and if you go there and you buy your tickets to see Alan's show, I'll maybe say hello. I might not. Depends how grumpy I am. Depends if my car's broken down between now and then. I have to leave it back into the garage. But if it's still working and I'm still wearing a new pair of boxers, all's well that ends well. So guys, enjoy this week's episode with me and Alan Irwin. Peace. Alan Irwin, my friend, my compadre, my travel buddy for the last...
It's true, my
3 months.
fellow road warrior.
Yes, the road... By the way, that hasn't come
What
out
a
yet.
rush.
What,
Is it not?
That's still not out.
That's months.
Can I just say my producer decided to get married? Dork.
how
She's
lame.
taking some time off.
All the
But-
best people are ending their marriages, come on.
Yes, you know what I mean? It's divorce. Like, have you seen Ben Affleck in the last week?
No?
Happier than he's looked in years. Him and
Yeah.
J-Lo were split up and they're delighted.
What's going on with that back tattoo?
Sorry?
There's Ben Affleck's giant tattooed back.
I thought you meant me. I was like, I've not announced that yet.
You could pull that off, you know, like a Yakuza. Like
Yeah.
you with an entire tattooed back.
I mean, I don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Like, I've heard the rumours of this, but I don't know enough. Well, what is this? Please tell me what this is.
He just has his entire back tattooed.
With what? Is it in public? Is it
He was on the beach with it. It's an old tattoo,
okay.
like. But you're right, like Ben Affleck looks very clean cut,
Yeah.
really.
But have you seen Prison Break? Is maybe
yeah,
he's got some
look,
sort of...
look at this thing.
like, holy moly. Man, is that a phoenix rising from the flames with a little snake of temptation
Something like that,
poking
yeah.
at its bill?
It's
Is that
awful.
yeah, I mean, sometimes, what is it the Beatles have famously said? That money can't buy you love. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And you
Can't
think,
buy you a good back tattoo
no,
either.
I think money should be able to get you the best.
Money should be able to
Tattoo.
buy you love, really. I mean, the world kind of runs on money. I'm not saying that, like, you know, people should only love you if you have money, but what I'm saying is, if I'm, like, a really rich man,
Yeah.
why shouldn't I be able to buy some love?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people think they do that. Like, a lot of rich men, like, this is where I find it's really awkward. I think it's weird when you see, like, really, like, when does it not get creepy to be so much older?
Well, like,
You know?
that seems like a very loaded question you're asking me.
No, not at all. Only halfway through there, I was like, oh no, it sounds
Oh,
this
to
is...
be clear, I'm not a nonce or anything. It's nothing like that.
Yet. No.
Yeah.
But
Give it
no,
time.
you're...
No, my girlfriend is younger than
Yes,
me.
but your girlfriend is a full...
Adult.
Adult,
Like, and I'm
yes.
not only just an adult either,
Yes.
to be clear.
An LTA, I call it a long-term adult.
Long-term,
you know,
she's
she's
been
been an
adult
adult
for a significant
for quite
amount of time.
a period of time. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
6 months. But it's all. It's
Yeah,
all
6 months can be a lifetime.
Yeah,
No, not really. Please, I do not want these rumors getting out.
but like you know the old stereotype, like Anna Nicole Smith and her husband,
Yeah.
and he was like 90, and like I saw a picture popped up on, you know when you ever see these historical pictures on Twitter. Now I don't know, are you on Twitter? You're a Twitter guy.
Too much, actually.
You know what? I love Twitter for like news and wrestling gossip.
Wrestling gossip's great
and
on-
football transfer gossip.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
like
yeah,
Twitter
yeah.
for. But yeah, have you noticed now? It's not just who you follow; it's for you as well. And like,
Yeah, it's like, and you can't get away from like the right wing hate. There's a lot of like,
but
isn't
like-
Trump brilliant?
but then it's also like I don't want to see certain things. For example, people just dying. You know,
Yeah.
or like minutes before death. Like, why is that for me?
Do you know what mine?
You
Like
know, a
70%
thread?
of my Twitter feed is, right? It's either WWE or AEW fans taking photos of empty seats at the other company's show
Oh yeah, it's a
and being
bit-
like, "Oh, look at this," and you're like, "I don't care.
Yeah.
Why would I care about that?"
No, but that's beef. That's content, though, isn't it? People love it, but I just see all that death stuff, and I was like, and there's like, as somebody who openly hates when people die, it's me, you know, and I don't like
You
seeing
like
it.
people dying?
I don't like it, and I don't find it
You
funny.
do it a lot yourself for somebody who doesn't like dying. Wait. That's a joke about comedy. Go on,
It's
lean
also
into the
not
microphone.
true.
No, it's
All
not
right.
actually. Dave's very
Adam,
funny.
Thank you.
Please keep me as your church support.
Yeah,
I
Adam.
need the money.
I'm gonna call you Adam from now on, going forward, as an insult.
all
'Cause,
right.
No, didn't. You know what? In my mind, that was funny. It
Okay,
was. So I've just died, having just literally.
You're to kick me out of your garden. Of
Of Eden. I'm gonna make you
That makes you the snake, you
eat
know.
my apple.
Or it makes you God. The snake didn't kick him out.
No, God. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know if anyone's thought about this before. Is God a little bit of a bitch? Like, God does wee things that are very bitchy.
But he does
like,
he does things like, you know, was it Ham? Where like Ham did something bad, so then God cursed him and his descendants till the end of time.
Yeah, like that's
that doesn't seem
excessive.
fair. That's like North Korea.
Yeah, but God always sets up wee scenarios so that people are doomed to fail in. You know what I mean?
There's one I always think about, and it's like Moses around about that time, and there's a battle, and they decide that the only way that the army can win is this guy holds his arms in the air like this, right? And then the army's winning when they do that, and then when he puts his arms down, they're losing. So then, and then after several hours, they figure out, we'll just get 2 other guys to hold his arms in the air. But I'm like, why did God set those parameters?
Yeah, they're very niche from God.
Like, why not just go, I want you to win so you can win? Why does he have to stand like that?
Because God is very much... I think God has inspired Jigsaw from the movie Saw. It's very much the guy. He's like, listen, God's a very technical guy. He's like, on a technicality, I haven't done anything wrong. However, you know, he's like, if you keep your arms up, you'll be grand. But
and if you put your arms down, your entire family's will be slaughtered by the enemy.
And then it's like, you know what? You chose to put your arms down.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, also the thing about Moses, you know, Moses, he's like, here's the thing, Moses, you can lead them away, but there's a chance that there'll be mass genocide here in the sea. You know, Noah is another one. Noah,
it kills the whole world except the one family. But not inbreeding there.
But it was so bitchy.
I think it says Lauren.
It was so bitchy. He was just like, I have had enough with everyone. I've had enough with everybody except you. You're my number one. You're my bestie. Noah of all the dudes.
It was bad enough when there was one snake in my garden.
It was like, nah, we're all going to go. So then what you have to do, right, Noah, is you have the unenviable task of gathering every single species on Earth.
Yeah.
2 of which... What happens if you get 2 that are maybe suffering from some sort of impotency issues, or they don't like each other and they can't perform?
Well, speaking of impotency issues, you know, Noah's old.
Yeah. But then Noah wasn't... This is the thing that I can't... It has to be inbred unless you're sensible, and I don't think Noah is going about it and going, right, we need to... Because then this turns Noah into a bit of a creep guy. So he's there, wasn't it? It was 2 boys and their wives.
I just remembered the reason Ham gets cursed is he sees his dad naked. I mean, that is cursed.
Yeah.
But, like, not for your descendants.
Here, what happened to Jesus when he must have seen God naked? God's like, what? I'm going to make a fucking example of you, Jesus. You know, you've seen the heavenly schlong, and now you're going to be tortured. And that's what the people are like, the cross is symbolic of... No, the cross is it's the schlong. It's God's schlong, and you can...
What's this bit? Handles to brace yourself?
Yes, I thought they were the balls.
Oh, right.
And then a Brazilian strip is the top, but it's too much. But he's always punishing people.
Brazil didn't even exist at that point, so it'd be weird for him to have a Brazilian. Well, maybe they called it like a Nazarene or something.
But that's probably the biggest shock of all, is Brazil is actually named after a style of pubic hair rather than the other way around.
It was named after Jesus' pubes. I mean, it's a very Catholic country. They're very religious country. So it makes sense they go, we're going to name ourselves after something from the Bible.
Exactly.
And they go for Jesus' pubic grooming technique.
And like, they didn't have Manscaped back in those days, so it would have been quite a task to have got it into that shape.
Imagine the nicks on your balls, trying to shave your balls in
with
AD 30 with flint. Yeah.
Oh no.
You might start a fire, you need to be careful.
But you know what? I can't stop thinking about how you could have not inbred with Noah's family. So if you could, you imagine the 2 wives are from different stock. I nearly said like Sean Connery stock. So do you
blood of our stock?
But then Noah or his boys are all the same. So you'd have to have like
Well, you can. I mean, I'm not recommending it, but you can breed with your cousin as long as you're not too genetically similar. Your outcomes are sort of normal. So I suppose if Ham and I can't remember the name of the other brother had kids.
Should I look up what Noah's kids are called?
Yeah, why not?
Noah and the Arks.
Their kids are cousins.
Yeah. Noah from the Ark.
Although if then your cousins, if your parents were cousins and then you sleep with your cousin, you probably sort of remain cousins genetically, right?
Yeah, I think, because like it's still coming from the same bloodline.
It's like, you know, that thing of like if a set of identical twins each got married to another set of identical twins, their children would genetically be siblings. It's
Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
I wasn't a fan of the Hut.
Yeah.
You know, don't like when he did the Han Solo.
In fact, it's a PH, so it could be Japheth.
Japheth?
Japheth sounds like something Jermaine Jackson would call his kids. But Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The flood arrives in Noah.
So you were saying Shabbos, so you went the Genesis?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's here.
Shabbos and the Genesis. But I'm just going to call bullshit on that, because I think... Now, this is what I find quite... I mean, one of the several issues I may or may not have with how the Bible is interpreted is that a lot of white guys...
Yeah, but they definitely wouldn't have been.
No, kicking about the Middle East? I don't think so. So how then, from that theory, do you have, like, Africans and Asians and Caucasians, and out of that, unless like, you know.
Well, this is where we're getting into trouble. I mean,
yeah.
as somebody who failed a theology degree, this is my whole area.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible's got, you know, what they probably think happened was at some point in history there was a massive flood in that region.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, it must be the whole world.
Yeah, then they don't know outside of that.
Yeah.
Fair point. Let me ask this question. If the Brazilian's named after the style Jesus, if Brazil's named after Jesus' pubes, how did Ham get the delicious, savoury snack named after himself?
Well,
did
it is cursed to eat ham like 4 a.m. in the kitchen in the dark, you know, by yourself, just straight out of the packet.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. See, ham, how do you feel about ham thickness?
Oh, I like a thick ham.
No, wafer thinner. And even then, I'm like two rounds of bread and one slice of wafer thin ham. I don't want an old big ignorant looking thing.
But this is where
they're like gammon like.
Oh, but this is where it changes, right? I get a gift from my father every year, similar in style to Noah and Ham, no doubt. But at Christmas, he comes round to my house with
and shows you his nakedness,
and then punishes me for life. Yeah, which is, to be fair, seeing him naked is enough for me. But he comes round with warm ham for me, a hot ham that he has cooked in tinfoil and everything, and I get that at Christmas, and I just flake it all off and make my ham sandwiches.
That does sound good. To be fair,
lovely. Hot ham sandwiches, nice soft loaf, tremendous.
I mean, I feel like you'll be on board with this. The Boxing Day like sandwich not better than the dinner.
Yeah, you know, because like what we do in my family home would be, my mum's this big like orange Le Creuset pot, and she would take,
of course she does,
all the
banger.
Oh, of course. But no, my mum's from Points Path. She's what's known as on the scene
but she's still Jenny from the block. Speaking of anything,
yeah, the Roman Catholic block. Let me point out, which that's a different kind of block altogether.
That's a Brazilian.
But I don't know if she has. Should I ring her?
Yeah.
And ask, well, listen, I know you're looking after my kids today, so I can come here and do this podcast. However, all I can say from my memory of being born, I didn't.
Do you personally think? I feel like if I was ever a full-time comedian, my dad wouldn't even understand how that is a job.
Yeah.
Like, because you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm working very hard. You go, what are you doing? Oh, well, we're going in and recording a podcast.
Yes.
And talking about Jesus' pubes for now. And you're like, that is not a job.
No, it's very hard. Like, where we sort of have sometimes an issue is obviously within my house. Catherine is a nurse.
That's like a proper
which
job.
Which is like a real job.
Even out of normal jobs,
yeah,
that's a proper job.
Yeah. So like, if she's getting ready for work in the morning and whatever, if I'm in the bathroom, no, I need to get ready. Yes, of course. I respect your job. I respect the NHS.
Funny how we'll stop doing that once we started asking for a pay rise.
I know, exactly. That's it. That's what I said. The irony now, sometimes my comedy's not very intelligent. Sometimes there's not a message in it. But I said there was an irony of us coming out and banging colanders off our heads and celebrating them, and then a lot of nurses can't actually afford the pasta they even put in the colander.
This is true, yeah.
You know, giving them a pay rise.
Well said. Get this man on. I got news for you.
You know, but then they'll just troll through all my podcasts and I'll be cancelled instantly, won't they?
Talking about Jesus' pube.
Yeah, for Jesus' pube. I know. Can you imagine? I bet you like Edwin Poots would have a beef with that. Oh, he's shut up, Edwin. And
I saw him in public the day after he resigned as DUP leader, and I've never seen a man look so sad.
Oh,
but that
right,
was also
sad.
partially because the ATM was broken.
Right, was it in Lisburn?
It was in Lisburn.
Because I actually had a meeting with him in Lisburn about trying to book my tour support, and no, about
I love that.
No,
you supported by Edwin Poots or a different MLA on every date, you know.
Well, I mean, that would be interesting for sure.
I went to Auschwitz with Mark Durkin.
Nice, like Mark Durkin or Mark H. Durkin.
Mark Durkin,
the OG.
The OG.
Yeah, nice. Now, was that intentional, or did you just happen to be like, oh fuck, what are you doing here?
No, so I think I've talked about this before, but on stage, like, but maybe, you know, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast. I won an essay competition, and the prize was
best Mexican impersonator.
I went in dressed as Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. So it was so me and a girl at my school. One of the things, so the prize was a day trip to Auschwitz, right? So what they did is a group called, I think they're called the Holocaust Educational Trust, and they basically it's a hard thing to brand. You know, yeah.
When you're in that PR team, you're like, we can't really stray too far.
No.
And definitely don't shorten name or anything.
But I think there's a wrestler, Jeep Swenson, right? Was a wrestler who also played Bane in Batman and Robin.
R.I.P. He's dead. Yeah. And he was very big.
He was brought into WCW as a wrestler. And they were like, we need a good name for him. So they called him the Final Solution. And then they went, oh, no, wait, no, we can't do that. We'll just call him the Ultimate Solution, which is the same thing. It's the same fucking thing. Anyway, so...
the Ultimate Solution.
So there's like 2 kids per school and like 100 schools. And then they chartered a plane. And then there was a couple of local politicians. The only one I remember was Mark Durkan. And then also, I think it was Pamela Ballantyne was there. Big day. I literally we flew to Poland, went to Auschwitz and flew home.
Yeah. I mean, you're not coming back from that buzzing, are you?
No. I love Pamela Valentine too. I did a gig once where she was in the front row and I told her off for talking. But since she's let me down again after I got diddled by her laser eye surgery company, which I didn't. Yeah. But, you know, it's just fun to do.
Yeah. No, I had a couple of fun moments.
She seems very nice.
You know, I was on her show there to promote the tour, the roleplay tour, which we had a great time on. We had a great really time. Bonded. And
didn't bring me for all of them though, did you?
No, but I mean, I would have done had you been available. You're a busy guy these days. You're a nightmare. And
don't blame me for your feelings.
I'm blaming you. And like, I haven't even announced the other thing yet. We'll do it after. But I had done a sketch show here years ago, and my role was young bouncer.
Sure was that
Sketchy? Which
were you in Sketchy?
Yeah, I was in Sketchy.
I went to a live recording of that one time.
Did you love it?
Yeah,
you could.
That's great. And I didn't see your sketch, otherwise I really.
No, I didn't do anything really. I got put in a headlock by Pamela Valentine.
That sounds great.
Yes, which there was a
some people pay good money for that.
But there was a still of it, and it was just my head betwixt her bosom, and it was quite
That's not a headlock.
A clean in there, head, yeah.
Oh right, I think you meant like betwixt would be the cleavage.
Yeah, but like there was a bosom on either side of my ears. They're like ear warmers, and it was a still, and like. That was a moment like before I had ever really like I was only starting out, so to me that was a real claim to fame, and I bottled saying to her about it. I really was going into the show, be like, "Do you remember Sketchy? And you got me in a headlock?" And I just bottled it, but she was so nice. See, in her show was so nice, and it's so weird, but you know, like when you see somebody who obviously is such a cultural icon here, like if you Pamela Valentine is, we've all grown up, we've known her from all our lives, and it's to not just be like, I was like, well, how are you? She's like, she disarms you so well, with a headlock betwixt her bosom. Just a headlock, yeah, straight away. She chokes you out.
So you weren't. The cameras weren't even on whenever you were getting the headlock put on you.
That's just part of it. But she was lovely. Yeah, so it was nice.
She might have recreated it. See if you had told her that on air. She might have been like, well, sure, we'll do it again.
But then now I'm bigger, stronger, and a bit more confident. I'd have tried her with a back body drop or something, or take her down with DDT some
or
kind
something.
Of slam, yeah. But
through the wee coffee table.
That's glass, and I don't like. You don't mess with real glass.
Sure, cry me a river.
Yeah, you don't want none of that. But yeah, it was a nice time, and I don't know how we got on this because we were talking about Auschwitz. Yes.
Auschwitz, and then I went there. I won a trip. Oh, we talked about Mark Durkan. You were going to say about you had a meeting with Edwin Poots.
Yeah, so no, I as part of my job would have had like community cohesion type.
Oh yes, I thought.
And I've met a few politicians who, over the years, and a few people who are associated with other. You'd say, in Northern Ireland, you'd refer to it as the dark arts. You know.
Yeah.
Paramilitaries.
We all know Paddy McDonnell.
People associated with paramilitaries, you know. Yeah.
I mean that's just part of the course. I mean, I have to say it's rare that I've met a local politician and found them unpleasant.
But you know what? This is one he wasn't full of banter, Pootsy.
Oh, was he not?
No, he just came in, he had the cheese sandwiches, and he just didn't really give you much, you know. Whereas you know who I found on the flip side of that, who I thought was like, you'd probably go, he's quite intimidating, a bit scary, looks a bit rough, and was Alex Maskey. And Alex Maskey,
I've heard nice things about Big Alex.
Was a gentleman. Yeah. You know, honestly, he was really, really, really nice. And actually, when I was leaving the job, he can give me a hug. I was like, you're actually crossing boundaries here, Alex. But appreciate the sentiment. But he was very nice. But
you wouldn't turn it down at the same time.
No, but you know what? It was a good, just a manly hug, a friendly manly hug. It wasn't like it was just a nice moment.
He wasn't patronising. He was just being sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
He was good. And I'm trying to think, because again, I always find this is an awkward scenario on podcasts too. If you talk about one side of the community and say someone's nice, like say Alex Maskey's nice, you feel almost obliged to go, oh, but so and so from the UP was sound, or the UUP. I don't really want to say that. Like the only one who I found to be pretty sound and easy to deal with was Christopher Stalford. He was a nice guy. But again, it's so weird because in the work that we would have done outside of comedy, you have to, take people for like community work or whatever it is they do rather than their political.
Well, I've been a civil servant and all. It's like the whole idea is like you are neutral, so it's your job is not to judge whatever the politician decides is going to be the policy or whatever. It's to carry out the policies decided, because that's the only way it would ever work. Otherwise, you'd have to be sacking loads of people every time you got a new minister.
But I must say it was some of the times the jobs were good, but I always liked it whenever you have people who are known. Like you say, like you have people who would obviously incite emotions in a lot of people.
Well, I've met Ian Paisley, lovely.
Senior or junior?
Both, but senior in particular, lovely man. I've met Martin McGuinness, lovely. There's the two guys who are going to evoke the most. Yeah. They were both very nice men. Yeah. No, I've never been chased down the street by them, but it's...
Never met Martin McGuinness, but I've not met Ian Paisley, however I have seen him.
Of course, you saw him in the nude,
In the nude, several times.
You saw us Brazilian.
Yeah, and believe it or not, he was a natural guy. He just let God do what he intended. Which, if he had known at the time, there was a Brazilian, he might have tried.
Yeah, since that was dug up in the old papers, they found that scroll. Remember?
Yes,
and it said
yes, of course.
But he didn't strike me as a man that would have been a manscaped user.
But do you ever have wee moments through anything, maybe it be comedy or life, where you go, "This is kind of cool"? And I was at a mural, painting for the UDA that I had commissioned because I was at a re-imaging.
With that head on you, it's believable.
I know I look so much like a Lotus paramilitary. That's horrible. But I was at an updating of one of the murals in Derry. So one of the sort of Bloody Sunday Memorial Day. The one with it's the wee boy and he's like the gas mask in the background there. So that was being all done up, and they had brought a lot of local community people involved in the history of Derry and everything like that. And John Hume was there. It was one of his sort of later. And I think he was sort of battling his illness, at the time. And it was, obviously a big deal for him to be there. And whatever way the cookie crumbled, so to speak, I ended up at a round table sitting beside him eating lunch, just having sandwiches. It was just such a cool moment and he was such a nice man, just chatting about everything, and he was pretty with it at the time, he was able to hold it. Stages, but then there was some, like, it was a bit later on, sort of where you sort of felt like he was just like getting a bit, almost he felt like an old man, gets a bit tired, he had a bit of chat and he was like, I just kind of want to drink my tea now. Like, it might have just been my chat.
Please stop talking about your penis. To John Hume, Dave.
Like, John,
he sat through some tough negotiations, but negotiating his way of you talking about your dick was the hardest one of all.
Yeah, it wasn't even hard at the time. It was flaccid. Yeah,
not that you'd be able to tell anyway.
But he he was a real nice guy, and looking back, like, that was a cool thing to have happened. The only thing is, you hate to be like a fanboy, but I would have loved to have been in a photo of that.
Oh yeah, I got a photo with John. But
I think there's like a group photo somewhere that I'd love to get my hands on to masturbate.
If you're out there, if you're out there, Dave's looking away.
If you can sort me out. But I was pretty cool. But so politicians, they're people too. Remember that.
That's it.
Just remember that they are people too, but some.
I get what you're saying.
So you went to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
What was we're on TripAdvisor. I know you use that app now, don't you? For like reviewing movies.
Letterboxd.
I like what's it called?
Letterboxd.
With
no E on the boxed.
So just so it's cool.
Yeah.
So I like to read your reviews. It's always humorous, always good. So if you were to do, say, a Letterboxd
of Auschwitz,
what are you saying?
Well, you see, I've been trying to write a bit about this, but I haven't quite got it down, because I think the problem is, as soon as you say the word Auschwitz, audiences go, oh, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I think people should try, like, dropping a wee Treblinka in there, maybe a Birkenau.
Treblinka's a good one.
Yeah.
Birkenau, yeah. But see, some people don't know. Auschwitz is the one everybody knows, definitely,
Yeah.
So, I've been to Auschwitz twice, right, which is not a very common experience.
Because you love it.
I love it. So the first time that was a school trip thing, and it was really harrowing, and like really, you're like, it was, upsetting. You're like, some really moving things there, And then the second time me and my mates went, it was like yeah, it was like we were all hungover and all, and I actually was so hungover originally I wasn't going to go, because I was like, well, I've already been. Yeah. But I sort of got shamed into going, so I went, and I remember the weather was much worse that day, and it was really, and I remember thinking, like, I'm freezing, I'm really feeling sorry for myself, right? And which is awful, isn't it? I was like, oh, I'm freezing, fuck's sake. Yeah, because it was really, the first time I was there, it was a sunny day,
Yeah.
Which actually, in a way, made it feel worse, because you're like, it's such a contrast, you know what I mean? But
The irony, it's not pathetic fallacy at all, because it's a beautiful day. You'd be like, what do people complain about?
yeah, but then
You
you
do
go
a great
into,
time,
you leave the lovely sunny day and go inside and see something
Yeah.
awful, you know. So yes, the second time I was like, I'm really cold and wet. And my main memory of the second time is that I was very disappointed in the cafe. And I'm like, to be fair, the cafe at Auschwitz shouldn't be good. You shouldn't be
No.
like, mate, check out that fucking chicken
Yeah.
stack. That is, you know what I mean? That would be awful.
Yeah, I mean, the irony of that, like, tremendous. Like, I mean,
So the bit, I just like saying chicken stack at Auschwitz.
yeah, it's fun to say.
But like, the problem sometimes is with a joke like that is you got to be like 40 minutes into the set before
Yeah.
you drop that one.
Yeah.
Because people will go, oh my God,
Yeah, because
this guy's the worst guy that's ever lived.
Yeah, but the question that you have to, did you get anything at Auschwitz in the end? Did you
What,
get
to eat?
anything to eat? Did you
It was,
have a
it was
scone?
just shite. It was like a pastry.
Nah, you know what?
You know, it's Poland, so they're not going to have
Yeah.
scones, you know. But they do have scones in Poland, but you know what I
Can you
mean?
get a wee sausage soup or something there?
I don't like, see, like coddle and all.
Onion? Yeah. They love onions.
They love cabbage and stuff, red cabbages and everything.
Yeah.
I hate cabbage.
Yes, it's not like a lot of those former like Eastern Bloc
Mm-hmm.
countries. The food's not great now. I was in Hungary
Mm-hmm.
and I was indeed, and I treated myself to a paprikash. Tremendous.
What's that?
It's like it's a paprika dish. It's Hungarian paprika chicken dish. It's like creamy paprika, and you have it over like it's sort of like a gnocchi type thing.
Sounds good.
But it's delicious. So
Well,
yeah,
I was
very, very
in
nice.
Slovakia there, and like the food was just all right. Like,
Yeah.
it was, you know, it was. I didn't know what was going on with.
And you were in Slovakia for a concert, were you?
Yes, I went to
Yes.
see ACDC.
Yes. Oh, now can I just to juxtapose the two? What's better to do? Travel to see former concentration camps or traveling to see ACDC?
Definitely ACDC.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, people at the band, they're also near death, but like it's a very different vibe.
See, I enjoy ACDC. I am a fan of their music and I have been for a while. However, I and like you were saying about the Auschwitz chicken stack and figuring bits out and things, a lot of me thinks about, is there a point where rock stars can just like change out of their gimmick, if you will? Like, it's gonna be an issue for Alice Cooper to like spoon his testicles into those skin tight trousers.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna there come a point where
Angus Young has
you
that
know,
the shorts on,
and
his
Angus
balls
is,
could be hanging out.
and he's in his wee like
Yeah.
Hogwarts gear, and you're like, Angus, is he still wearing that to this day, or
He's
is
still wearing it. He's still duck walking. He still does this thing, you know, where he like throws himself down and kicks himself around in a circle and all. Does it all. And so I went to see him in Croke Park there a couple weeks ago.
So how many times have you seen them in the last year?
3.
Okay, and
So
where?
so I saw the first open night of the tour in Gelsenkirchen in Germany, and then Bratislava, and then last night of the tour was in Croke Park. So, but Croke Park, my girlfriend went, who has likes ACDC, but is not a big fan, and she was like, "That's the best gig I've ever been
But
to."
she's of the age where she would like buy a T-shirt that says ACDC in Primark, but not know who they are, like Nirvana. And all.
She is an adult. Although actually Madeline was selling an ACDC t-shirt from one of their obscure albums in the 80s. I was like, this is the kind of
Yeah,
thing
you gotta
want.
get it. Yeah.
But what works about ACDC is there's no longer any attempt to look cool.
Yeah.
Like Brian Johnson's up there kind of mincing around. He's very camp on stage
Yeah.
and all that. He's like, I'm not going to pretend to be a rock god. I'm just,
Yeah.
straightforward, 2 verses, couple of choruses, a solo. That's all you
Yeah.
need. No mucking about,
But he is brilliant too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like
I love him. I'd
yeah.
love to have a pint with him.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great.
I forgot. Like, I knew, but in the back of the mind, and then forgot, and then he's full Geordie.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw it, like, I was watching some old clips of ACDC, and I was watching, it was him and Angus on, I think, Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
And he made them do.
They did the acoustic
Shook Me All
version of
Night
You
Long.
Shook Me All Night Long, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not ready to sing. I think Angus was like, he's not high. I think he's not off his face yet.
He's a bit of a stoner as well.
Yeah.
Brian. I like the story he tells one time about they did Tushino Airfield in Moscow. So it's because like students had a lot to do with bringing down the Soviet government as like a thank you. The
Yeah.
Russians booked it was the Monsters of Rock tour, so it was like
Boris Yeltsin, did he do that?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the lineup
He's
was
a
like,
party boy.
Yeah, he is.
Whoa.
The lineup was like ACDC, Metallica, Queensryche. Do you remember Queensryche?
Mm-mm.
They were not very good. And I think the
Queensryche?
Black Crows were the other one. So it was like a big loaded lineup.
Right.
And before the gig, Bram was waiting to go on. He's like, "Oh, I'm down for a piss." So he went and stood in the dark and had a piss. And a Russian soldier came over and nearly attacked him because it turned out he was pissing on Sputnik.
Oh no.
That thing had been to space and back, and it's got
yeah.
Brian Johnson's piss on it.
Yeah, so that could have been him dead. Like
Oh,
if
that'd been it. Don't imagine the Russian army fucks about like.
it was Mr. Putin.
Well, I mean, they've been
nowadays.
fucking about for a couple of years now, but
Yeah.
you know.
But that would be like, but music, what a fantastic thing. The
It was, I
unite.
mean, the atmosphere in Croke Park was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun.
And so, what was your favorite out of the three? Do you like?
I think
elements of
probably
difference?
Croke Park.
Yeah.
I think Gelsenkirchen was fun. Gelsenkirchen, they did a longer set.
Uh-huh.
So that was fun. And obviously, I hadn't seen them in 8 or 9 years at that point. Bratislava was very fun because it was like mates from school that
Yeah.
I haven't seen in a long time. We all
Yeah.
went together, and we were in golden circles. We were very
Uh-huh.
close to the stage. But Croke just had the best, I think, party atmosphere.
Yeah.
We were further back, but not that far back.
Yeah,
And just a really good atmosphere in the crowd. And the band was really going, right, this is the last night of the tour.
yeah. Give it
Leave
stats.
it all in the field sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, they were really going for it.
Uh-huh.
So
And where was the one that we thought you died? Because I was gigging with your girlfriend, and she was trying to text you. It was that in Gelsenkirchen.
that was Gelsenkirchen, yeah. So
and it was
yeah, so basically what happened was, right, I went to see them by myself. I originally, there's like fan forums on I've been on for years,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, maybe I'll message some of them, we'll go for a pint or whatever.
None of them wrote back.
Yeah, that's what happened. No, I was just like, I can't be arsed. So what did I do?
Yeah.
So I had brought a hip flask.
Uh-huh.
And the week before, I'd went to see Bruce Springsteen in Boucher, which was also great.
Uh-huh.
And we'd brought the hip flask, but it was split between 4 people.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of forgot, if you have an entire hip flask yourself, that's quite a lot of vodka.
Yeah.
So I brought it in with me, put it in my socks, so I got through security and all that.
Uh-huh.
And then I had a few beers, and then I like bought a Coke and put the vodka, you know. And then eventually I was just putting the vodka into the beer,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
not, you know.
That's not even tasty.
So it all hit me at once then. So I walked. This is a fucking disaster. This whole story. So I'd bought a portable phone charger because I thought,
Uh-huh.
right, my phone's gonna die, right? But the input. What do you fucking call the thing?
The
You know
input.
what I mean?
Yeah,
The
that's
input
about right.
was broken, so
Uh-huh.
it wouldn't charge with a wire. I could only charge it wirelessly, which meant I couldn't charge it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, well, I'll just put my phone in airplane mode. I was 2 tram stops away from the venue, and it said it was about a 40-minute walk. And I was like, well, like a 40-minute walk, I'll just do, because you know yourself, coming to those
Yeah.
big gigs, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I did the 40-minute walk with my phone in airplane mode. Then went, I should nearly be home by now.
Yeah.
And then took it off airplane mode, and I'd walked 40 minutes in the wrong direction.
Ah, yes, the classic. Oh.
So I started to walk home then. And, well, it ended up that I got a taxi, but then,
And this point, you're full.
oh,
Full as a pro.
blinded.
Yeah.
Briefly considered, will I just lie down in this field here and go
Uh-huh.
to sleep, and I'll just make my way home in the morning?
Yeah. You'd have been found by a dog walker. and
Well,
you'd be like,
yeah, oh, for fuck's sake, by you up at
I know,
4 a.m. But so eventually I did get a taxi and stuff, but I didn't have a card, or I had no cash. So in the end, I had to buy the guy like a thing of petrol because I couldn't find a cash machine. It was a nightmare. But in between that, I went, I got to piss myself. Like, I haven't pissed in hours. So I went, oh, there's a bush over there.
Uh-huh.
Like, just beside, like there was a fence, but beside the train tracks kind of thing. And I went, I'll go over there and have a piss.
It wasn't Sputnik, was it?
And
Please no.
it's on tour. It's in Germany now.
No.
Another thing they've taken from the Russians. But I thought, I'll go and piss in
You're
that
going to
bush.
piss, yeah.
And I walked, and there was a drop, and I missed the drop and cowped arse
no.
over tit. And it turns out the bush was filled with the sharpest thorns that I have ever felt in my life. You know when you're drunk, you don't really feel pain.
Yes.
Well, I felt,
Oh,
really felt
yeah.
it. I was like, and then I was trapped in it. I was like, oh no, right? And I mean, like, I wonder if you can still see. I have like scars and all my wee marks on my arms from it, all up my arms, my legs. I scratched my phone. My arse was all cut. It missed my ball bag by about a millimeter. Ripped my jeans, ripped my t-shirt, right? And I was like, oh my, what am I gonna do? And I remember this lander going, like out loud going, you're a fucking idiot, Alan. You're a fucking idiot, right? So eventually, the only way to get up was to grab the thorn bush, and it like took 2 chunks out of my palms.
Did you? Oh, no.
Bleeding and all, right? So I So I eventually got home. So I left the gig at 11:15, and I got home at 2:30. I phoned my girlfriend, who was obviously, she was like, "You should have been home hours ago." And obviously, I'm on my own in a strange city. I was like, "You're right." I went, "I'm fine." She's like, "You're bleeding everywhere."
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
So you would have looked like Jesus walking home.
I did look like Jesus with the stigmata.
Yeah.
You should say I'm Brazilian.
That is so. I see. I hate that sort of stuff because I can imagine it. I'm sore thinking about that.
But I went to the fucking.
I would have died. I'd have gone. I can't grab that. It hurt my hands too much.
The day of, I went. I'm supposed to fucking go and do something because you can't just go to a place and not do anything, even though you don't want to do anything. So I went to an art gallery and it was shite.
Yeah.
And like at one point, I walked into this room. I was looking at all these displays. I don't understand art at all. And this was very abstract. And I walked into one of the gallery rooms, and it was just a toilet. And I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what is the point?" And I stood and looked at it for trying to figure out what it was. And then I realized it was just standing in the toilet, and there was a woman standing behind me.
Now we're getting the reason.
Suck that. No. No.
This is a really great gallery.
I know you're not enjoying it, but you know, by the way, I just love saying "suck that."
Yeah,
it's great. But so what did I look like to her? Just this guy standing, heavy breathing, looking at the toilet because I was knackered and coming up the stairs. She's like, "What am I looking for?" She just wanted to piss, and I'm going.
You'd be like, "Work away. I will remain."
Speaking of which, fucking right, I was at Wembley at the weekend there for the wrestling.
You know what, by the way, you're doing all right for yourself.
I'm doing all right. I'm going to Spain in a couple of weeks as well. It's all going great. But the credit card's maxed out.
For the All Elite Wrestling?
The All Elite Wrestling.
Super Show, was it all in?
All in. Yeah. It's on, well, it'll be on ITV.
It'll be on ITVX.
Yeah, give it a watch.
Yeah.
Well worth a watch. Really fun show. But at one point, I thought I went for a pee, and we'd eaten a lot of rich food. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I can have a quick shite here.
Yeah.
There's quite a big restaurant making
in Wembley.
In Wembley.
Okay.
I
imagine the toilets are decent there.
They're all right, and actually they managed it well. The queues weren't too bad. I'm very much a cubicle guy, but that day I was using the urinal because not for the shite.
Fucking hell! Any wonder it wasn't ideal.
So I was queuing anyway, and you always run into somebody from here.
Yeah.
And they always let you down, right? So I'm standing waiting. And one of the toilets, like we knew there was a guy in it, but you know, sometimes when you turn it, the wee thing that goes from green to red doesn't change.
Yes.
So then a guy pushes in front of me and like starts pushing the door for ages, and then he turns around. And of course, he's fucking. Well, you're always in that toilet when you need that bill there, don't you? Like, fucking don't let people think I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
So the guy came out of the cubicle, the other cubicle, walked on. He went. In hindsight, he walked away very fast.
Did he wash his hands?
What?
Did he wash his hands?
Well, they were around the corner, so I don't know. So when I walked in, can I show you a photo of it? Maybe you can put it on. Can you put that on something?
Yes, you can send it to me. Was it a scene?
So basically, for those of you listening on audio, somebody did diarrhea up the wall of the stall.
I don't know. I actually, you know what? I'm going to take an executive decision of not putting that on.
Also, actually, I can't send it because there is my stream of piss in the photo.
And the place where it originates, your penis. Yeah.
So I not my balls though.
Oh, no. Be weird.
You can see that they were totally unmoved by that thorn bush.
Yeah.
But so I was like.
That was disgusting. That
was
was
awful.
It looks like someone's.
I actually thought it was really
like
sick.
Katsu sauce, just like.
And then I did my piss and I went, right, well, obviously I'm not having a shite now. I just didn't have one.
Yeah.
Turned round and I was leaving. There was a guy about to go in and I went, fair warning, mate, that's awful in there. Yeah. But then I realised he thought I did it. And I was going, you know, people go on, give that 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah. So.
There, mate.
Like, I know what happened. Whoever it was tried to hover, and then it was much more explosive than they had planned. Mm-hmm. But like, if you're hovering, lift the seat.
Yeah, but how can it go as horizontal as that?
They must have been angling up rather than down. But like, so then I ran away quickly because I was like, I don't want him telling people that I did that.
Yeah.
But like,
was the guy from here though? Because if he goes back, you know Alan Irwin, meeting Alan Irwin.
There we go.
You're Soft Border Patrol. He shites up walls. And then you could just be, well, it's actually in our culture.
Yeah, it's part of our culture. Yeah, so just live with it.
I'm expressing myself.
But like, just fucking, it was like something I saw in that gallery.
No,
but
I can't deal with dirty toilets.
Ronan Nancy the next day I told him about this. I went with other comedians.
He was like, that was me.
Yeah, well, he said one time. This is worse. Actually, this is worse. He went for.
This is what my listeners love. This is my demographic.
Is it?
Scat.
Right.
Yeah.
So he went to the toilet. It was very normal. He gave it a wee wipe or whatever. And then sat down, started to do a poo, and he put his hand up into the dispenser, and there was shite in it.
Why? Oh, to get tissue.
Yeah, and it was like on the backs of his hands.
So that person should go to prison.
They should.
That's
How does that
absolutely
happen?
Disgusting. Someone's done that on purpose. Some dirty bastards put.
But also,
this-
you don't even get the benefit of the prank
No,
because he said it was cold. It wasn't like it was the person in before him.
that is disgusting. That is the most
Cold
disgusting.
poo must be the worst, surely.
Yeah.
But you've changed nappies. Cold poo's worse.
Yeah. At least warm poo feels like, I don't know. Yeah, I prefer warm poo to cold poo because at least it's not a bad sensation on the hands. It's like it's quite warming. But the cold's like, and it's still.
But it's
stinks.
like cold beans or something. If you get
Yeah,
cold beans in your hands, you're like, oh, it's so disgusting.
I'd been sick everywhere. I'd just.
Sorry, do you have a sense that you?
Oh, I'm so.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
So squeamish.
I'm not even the kind of guy that would do that in badness. I didn't know.
But it's more so for like spit, and big gab or something, a big greener. That would turn me more than anything else. Disgusting. But that is just absolutely horrendous. Like toilets are. I can't cope. I can't cope with my toilet. I see people pissing on the floor and shine up. It's disgusting.
I don't understand it.
But then you forget, right? Because this is the thing. Like I feel like you judge a lot of people based on your own standards, and there are a lot of mental stinking bastards out there who will just shite on the floor and think, no, piss all over the toilet roll, piss all over the thing. Go,
Yeah.
this is great banter, and you go, no.
I mean, when you go into a portaloo at like
Yeah.
a festival or something, you're like, what has happened in here?
Like what it is like. And again, you know what? I'll call them out. The toilets at Ballycastle at the Rathlin Ferry, not good.
Oh, they're not good.
No,
No,
not good.
and Rathlin's lovely, like, but
But I had to bring the girls there. We were up in Portrush a couple of weeks ago, just before school started, and went up there, and they needed to pee. Daddy needed to pee, and I have to take them into the male toilets because
the people think you're a pervert.
yeah, and I mean yeah.
Yeah, you are, but not for that reason. That's not where you're a pervert.
I'm not a toilet pervert.
No,
You know,
you're
I'm
not
a-
Chuck Berry.
I'm a big oily boobs pervert.
Yeah.
Called,
Here,
oops,
who among us
aren't
that
we?
he who
Yeah.
was without lust for the big oily boobs cast the first stone.
But went in there, and obviously you have to get down quite low when you're there. Like my 3-year-old needs like lifted onto the toilet, so I go in. I have to assess the toilet. Then I have to like clean it up to make sure she can go on it. Then like a lot of
By
times,
the way, when a 3-year-old says I need the toilet, it's urgent.
yeah.
So you don't
they
have much
can't-
time.
No, and then I'd get in, and then it was like awkward because I would let both of them in, and I thought this toilet's going to be fairly quiet. Bunged. So I get in, and it was the toilets were stinking. Holly, who's 6, was like, Daddy, this is really smelly in here. It's so smelly. It smells like poo. I'm like, well, yeah, it smells. Actually, I can't pee. While we're at it, smells like pee as well.
But sometimes
It's
when you go
stinking.
into the toilet, it smells of something. You go, that's not poo or pee. What is that?
It's oxters. That turns me the most. We'll get back to that. So I'm down there, and it's just, and like the floor's all wet with piss too. So I'm like, I can't actually let their trousers go down around their ankles in case they get in the pee. So I'm like literally holding a child like a rugby ball above a toilet while I'm trying
That's
to
what the guy
direct
was
her
trying to
pee.
do in Wembley, maybe?
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what it was, but it was so stressful. And then when Matilda finished, I had to do the same to Holly. But then there's a guy at the urinal, Matilda just walks on over.
Looking at his
looking-
dick.
And I was like, Matilda, get away from me. And like he didn't, to be fair.
Your child's a pervert.
Yeah, she is a pervert, but he wasn't like, oh, get away. So then I was like, is he a pervert too? And I was like, yeah. So much.
I'm sure not. I'm sure he just was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I just had to pull her away. Be like, can you get away from that?
Stop
please?"
looking at
It's a
that
lot.
man's penis.
And then it was like, and then I get
Why
stressed.
doesn't yours
too.
look like that?
Yeah, because no, that's the thing. It'd be like, he's got a winky like you, Daddy. I'd be like, what's small and grey? Unfortunate for him too, isn't it?
Small and
But but it was a very stressful scenario, and toilets in general are very stressful. You know, I just but oxters, that's the worst. See, I hate going into a toilet like directly at when the heat is on the seat, and you can actually smell the smell of their like creases as well as the shit. You know, that's the worst. You feel the heat coming
But
from
you see,
there. It's, ugh.
we had that at the weekend at the wrestling where like the wrestling is a great thing to go to, by the
Uh-huh.
way, as a well groomed man, as we
Yes.
both are, because a lot of smelly lads. So you do feel quite attractive at the wrestling. Because I was like, you know, the most common smell you get at things like that is shard body, but the shirt is days old.
Yes.
So then,
yes.
you know,
yes.
you get that stale smell. And
Yeah.
I'm like, lads, you've taken the trip to London for the big
Uh-huh.
weekend, the big wrestling show at Wembley Stadium. It's your big day out. put on a clean fucking t-shirt. Like what?
Yeah.
Why does that? It was 20-degree heat. You know,
Oh yeah, I know the exact.
the day
smell.
before as well. It had rained all day, so no doubt they were soaked, and
Yeah.
then put that shirt back on.
Oh no, some
There's
people
no fucking
just
excuse. That's one thing where I'm like, I'll forgive a lot of things. I'll forgive bad breath. I'll forgive like just being obnoxious. But people who smell,
yeah.
there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Just we live in a world of fucking indoor plumbing. There's no excuse.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Wrestling's such a weird world too, isn't it? And like when you have a crossover, like a lot of wrestlers, you look at them and they are like they're the body beautiful. You know,
Oh,
they're
gorgeous.
They're brilliant looking, fit. But then a lot
And
of
I think
them,
since they've got less freaky looking,
yeah,
a lot more sexy wrestlers now because they're like
like the dudes are
both,
yeah.
But they've got this thing, you know, they're not big gigantic freaks really anymore. I know that's more entertaining.
Yeah.
But when you see one of them in the street, you know, like Hook, you know Hook.
Yes.
I couldn't believe how attractive he was in real life.
Yeah.
Like I'm straight, but I would spread him on a cracker. Like
he's
beautiful.
Yeah.
And on TV, sort of handsome.
Yeah.
But nothing.
Does he talk or anything? He's got that hair, doesn't he?
He has a wee bit of talk.
Yeah.
You know,
like would Hook be the one you'd be like, I fancy him out of the guys? Because he wouldn't be my type.
Who would be your type?
The one that scissors Billy Gunn.
Oh, Anthony Bowens.
Anthony Bowens, yeah. I think
He's gay, actually, so you have a better shot probably than I do with Hook.
But I mean, my favourite is Ass Daddy. He's the guy, like Billy Ass.
63, though.
But I mean, he's in better shape now than he was when he was prime Ass Man. Like, I would love to ask
By the way,
him.
if anybody doesn't know who he is, his gimmick when he was younger basically was, I have a nice ass.
That's what my question was. I didn't know whether he was... Like he had a great ass, which I mean, obviously you know he does. You can see it, but I didn't know whether he had a good ass, whether he was into good asses,
both.
whether he liked asses. Like his whole life is ass, isn't it?
Yeah. So
like,
him having what actually happened was it's unusual. Him having such a nice ass made him appreciate everybody else's ass,
right?
Or his appreciation of everybody else's ass made him go, I'm going to get a nice ass.
Yeah, he really worked on his ass.
Yeah,
that's kind of a nice story, isn't it? It's because a lot of people try to bring other people down. You know, and be like, jealous.
Yeah.
But he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to work on myself.
Maybe I haven't gone to the gym. Maybe I should say to the PT, be like, look, I just want to have a great ass. I don't care about anything else. I actually do have a pretty nice bum. But like, if I went, I just want to have an unbelievable ass.
My arse looks like the bottom of a pepper. It's an absolute scene. It's terrible.
There's four folds all coming into a wee dot.
It's just like big there and lowers in this small pathetic little hole that my poo drops out of.
Bum,
yeah, I have no bum at all, and it's so embarrassing.
No, I actually, it's not as good as it used to be, but I used to have a proper 8, 9 out of 10 bum.
Yeah,
really.
Dunk.
Yeah. Not I'm obviously Aaron McCann. We all stand in his shadow quite literally.
Yes, he's.
But
the ass McCann.
The ass McCann.
I'm an ass McCann.
Dun, dun.
But and he's got the ass boys too. Were they there at Wembley?
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah, what were they doing? Were they performing?
They were in a ladder match.
And are they good or not?
They
Is there nepotism or because
no, it was nepotism, but they've become pretty good.
Because the one of them just looks like Billy Gunn identically, and then they do that. They still do the entrance as like the 50 Cent, and it's quite cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was, but I found it really freaky because he looked so much like him. But Billy Gunn's a great guy. We spoke about him on William and my short-lived wrestling podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Can't even remember what it was called.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
That's so terrible. Listen, no one listens.
It's called Are You Ready?
Yes, that's what it was called. But we were talking about Billy Gunn and my love of him and his ass, and he liked the video that we
did he?
Up. Yeah, he liked.
Good lad.
No, Billy Gunn. P Diddy loves ass too, to a creepy level.
Yeah, that's very true.
Paul Diddy. It's his real name.
I thought it was Phil.
Phil Diddy.
Phil Diddy.
Phil Diddy with what? Yeah, they called me Phil Diddy when Pamela Valentine had me in the headlock. But yeah, he's been doing great. And Wembley as a venue, you've been before. You were there last year. Do you like it?
There was more people there last year.
Yeah. But what's the deal? Because you were saying about Twitter and everyone being like empty seats. Was it a bad turnout or was it okay? Or
there was 51,000 on it.
And what was the cap for it?
55.
Right.
With the setup they were using. I would say there was probably slightly more empty seats than that. But last year was 81, but they used the whole stadium.
Yeah.
While this time they used the stage was like a third of the way up the pitch.
Yeah.
But I thought it actually created a bit of a better. It's maybe that thing if you've 80,000. Obviously, a lot of people who don't even really watch wrestling were like, well, here the cheapest tickets last year were like 15 quid. So they're like, well, I'll just pay 15 quid and go.
Yeah.
I'll know Chris Jericho. I'll know a few people.
Yeah.
But this year, because there was fewer people, it was all the people who are into it.
Yeah.
So then it
So a
created
lot
a
of
more
more-
lively atmosphere.
I was
You know.
going to say like the Smelly Shirt Brigade. were in
Well,
this year.
that's
Yeah.
it. Fortunately, there was no smelly shirts near us. But
Did you buy any merch this year? Did you?
no, the merch was very poor.
Really?
Yeah,
Just-
so the way they do their merch is they don't have like a warehouse full of stuff. It's all print to order. So then they just had a very poor selection. It was all just stuff like, you know, for that show. Like I was there kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But
No. And
they're loving a football shirt.
Yeah.
That's the big seller now, a football shirt with like the logo on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying 80 quid for
Yeah.
a not
See,
real football team.
You should have a wee. They should have wee cotton numbers, shouldn't they? Just to get. And then if you're drunk like I ended up, I was at a Blink-182 concert there during the week.
Oh, just see your
I
hat.
bought
there.
a t-shirt and a hat. I was going to put the hat in the background there, but it doesn't really match.
Put the hat
colour
on,
scheme.
let's see it.
See, but this is the embarrassing thing about the hat, right? I have to wear it in the very last rung because I was the big bonds. So
It's very trucker.
it is truck, and I look like a trucker, don't I? I look
Yeah.
like the kind of guy.
Give us
who
a wee.
ha ha.
Yeah. Can I try that?
Yeah, but like that's.
I think I'll have to bring it slightly down.
yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, no, maybe not.
No, but it's quite snug, isn't it? And I mean, I don't know whether it's a girl's hat or not because it is sort of like lighter colours, more pastel. I don't know whether I've just been drunk and bought it because it's definitely not like a regular sized hat because I'm in the very
Yeah,
last
definitely on
rung.
the last rung still.
Yeah, so it's
But, oh, fucking hell. But
nice.
I'm starting to have to become a hat guy because being bald. You know,
Yeah.
when we were in Bratislava, it was 30 degrees, so I had
Yeah.
to wear a hat all day.
you
know?
actually suit a hat. You know, some people don't, but you pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works well. I have
Glasses or no glasses?
put the glasses on. I like the
Well,
glasses.
also
yeah.
because I'm literally blind.
Yeah, it's the wide your eyes cross. But I have like a proper wee cap that I would wear for
a
the sun.
comfy hat.
It is nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Wouldn't get the sun out of you though, too much
No.
mesh.
No, but I have like a wee I called my dad.
Fell in love with the girl at the rock show.
like being
She
back.
Said what, but I don't know that I
It's being
didn't know.
back.
Do you know what song I've become obsessed with lately? You know, My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory.
That's a great song,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard
Please
it in
tell
years.
me anything. Yeah,
But it's
That's-
a
That is a
banger.
really good song. Really good song.
Everything I
and-
wanted.
And speaking of Wembley,
Yeah.
Oasis, would you go and see those guys?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody gave me a ticket, I would go. But I don't like them enough to justify. Oh, the tickets actually aren't mental.
150 quid I was hearing.
120 for standing
Uh-huh.
at Croke.
Yeah.
The Edinburgh shows are during the Fringe. That's a
Yeah.
mental decision like that. But
Well,
it's,
he's probably just like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it, man. We're having it.
the best bit I ever saw of Liam Gallagher was a kid asked, whenever you sing a really good song, do you get sweets after the show? And he went,
Uh-huh.
yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
But no, I had a couple of Oasis albums. I had their greatest hits,
Yeah.
and they do have quite a few good songs.
Yeah.
But and I say this with
You've
the
heard it here first.
What?
Oasis, to be fair, they've quite a good song.
3 stars,
yeah.
Q magazine. But like, I hesitate to say this because I'm going to get hate for this. But like,
Clip it.
and I'm not. If you think I'm talking about you, I'm not talking about you. All right, you listen to the Sly Guy, you're probably dead on. But a lot of it's not that you have to be a bad person to like Oasis, but a lot of the worst people love Oasis.
Yeah, I can see
And like,
that.
I feel like there's going to be no harm. So much toot at those gigs
Oh.
that like people will be fighting and all.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really weird atmosphere. There'll be
Yeah.
a lot of guys, like office guys, who go, "Oh, I like a bit of rock. I love Wonderwall." And you're like, "What do you mean?"
But you're going to think you're a Valdezaire with all the snow it's going to be at the Oasis concerts.
Yeah,
It'll be fucking everywhere.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
Oh,
so
There'll be fights too, won't there?
there will, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be arsed with the atmosphere.
But you know, this is the thing. This is the thing. Fucking, and I know we're on the same wavelength about stuff like this. I hate it when people dress like in a uniform for going to concerts. Like they're like, "Oh, we're going to see Oasis. We have to wear a parka coat."
Yeah, what's that?
And it's like, you're not Liam Gallagher. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
I didn't
comfortable.
go to ACDC in a school uniform.
No, but your
My girlfriend did.
Yes. Yes, this is great. But
yeah, no, you don't need to dress up. It's like, well, I don't get it.
I know this is going to be bad too. It's a couple of bald guys chatting about haircuts, but that haircut,
Oh, it's fucking
the
awful.
mod haircut. No one has ever had, even the best ever mod haircut.
Paul
looks
Weller looks
terrible.
like shit, and his haircuts probably cost about $2,000.
Yeah, but what is that cut all about?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a mixture of all of the extreme religions. It's like the Amish fringe with the sort of the straightened Jewish piots. It's a weird,
Bizarre.
fucking. But then nobody ever gets it done when like it's always dudes in their 40s that should know better. And you're like, why have you got that hair? Like, why have you
The
done
kind
that?
of guys that used to go to beach club.
Yeah, and spike you.
And spike you. Yeah, they were like way too old to be in there. Oh, by the way, just top tip, right? So if you Google,
Don't spike people. Oh,
well, that too. Don't date somebody in a school uniform. That's a good tip. Unless you're also in a school uniform, like of a school you go to right now.
not cosplay.
Yeah, not cosplay. Oh, I'm dressed as Hermione. It's fine.
I quite like to see that.
Me dressed as Hermione. But when Guardian left, I don't even watch Harry Potter or read it or anything. But anyway, there's another date held for Wembley. They're actually going to do 3 at Wembley, but they haven't announced it yet.
Right. Okay.
And some American dates, and they're doing Mexico City. But somebody,
And you could, because since you could maybe win another essay contest and right there.
so if you're worried about getting tickets, go on to booking.com now. Google the dates because it's leaked. There's like a spreadsheet. The person who put all those dates up was completely right. They'd got all the dates already announced. Go and reserve a wee hotel on booking.com or something now for the third date, and then before the price gouging kicks in.
See, well, we're trying to be sneaky now because we were trying to work out. My wife loves Oasis. She'd love to go see it. And my wife is like the sort of person you described, a hood. Right, she's an awful violent.
That's not true.
An awful violent.
Every time I meet your wife, like, I think you're a nice guy. I think you're a handsome guy. But still, every time I see your wife, I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
It's weird.
She's way too hot and lovely for you.
Yeah,
like.
I know. It's problematic. You know what it is.
And she's got a proper job. So it's not even like you're keeping her.
No.
Like you're doing all right, but you're not a millionaire.
Yeah. No. Well, according to friggin' net worth, I am. Which is
what?
I looked at that up a while ago, and I was like, apparently I've
That
over
makes
$1
me
million
doubt
net
every
worth.
time I've looked up somebody's net worth.
Yeah, my net worth is, I think, probably like 50 quid. It's terrible. But she, so she wanted to go see it, and there's been a couple of times where I've had to pull rank and be like, do you ever have like, there are things that are for you and your friends, and there are things for you and your partner. And like, for example, Snow Patrol. I always go and see Al Catherine. That's our thing. When Limp Bizkit came to town, it's like, I can't. I have to go with my friends.
I totally get that. It's like my girlfriend now is much more into rock than what my wife was.
Yeah.
So my wife, it would never have occurred to me for her to come with me to see ACDC because we're like, you're not really going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you not enjoying it will make me enjoy it less.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that the person's bad. It just means some things are for your mates, you know, and that's fine.
And I'd say to her, it's like, as much as I'm sure you would like to see Limp Bizkit, go with your friends, but I will be going with my friends who we liked them whenever we were in school.
And we're going to be really obnoxious and awful, and you're going to enjoy that.
And be on the pints, and the same with during the week, Blink-182. Whenever they came out, she was like, "Oh, I'd like to go see them." And I said, "Well, it's kind of, you know, like one of my mates."
Were you seated or standing?
Seated.
Oh, Dave.
But I'm 37. I'm 38.
I don't. If ACDC toured in another decade, they'll be seated, but I'll be standing.
Yeah, that's fair. But we got there, and it was like we worked it out. There was 8 of us out, and we hadn't been together as a group, the 8 of us together in one room, since I got married 7 years ago.
Wow.
So we were like, this is mad that we're all here together. So one of my mates was actually like,
all the cost was like $2,000 combined.
yeah, exactly. But he said, he was like, I have a couple of things on my bucket list. One was to see Blink-182 live, and the other was to go to the Masters Golf. And then I was like, I want to go to the Masters Golf. That's one of my buckets.
That's big money, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is, but it's down the line. Like I think you go to see the Masters for like 50. It's just a great time. I'm actually going to watch the Irish Open the 14th of September. If anyone's there, I'll be there.
I'm opening for Mickey Barton and Strabane.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, listen, needs must. And
different strokes for different folks. I'll have more fun at that, to be fair.
You know what? I always go to the golf, and it's one of those things that I think I'm always going to enjoy, and then I'm always like, I'm tired. I'd rather just have pints.
You're like me walking around Auschwitz.
Yeah, like I'm tired. But my other one's to go to Oktoberfest. I think that looks like a lot of fun, but I've not done that before. So, yeah, that was a nice moment to be there with all the guys. Now, we met up for pints at about 4:30. So, see, by the end, a lot of us are bloated and bad hangover. But it was fun. It was a good time. And that's it. Like, and again, there's an event being held for Ward Park in Bangor next summer. A lot of people are saying it's Snow Patrol. A lot of people. I can officially say it's my new show. Adventures 2025. I've booked War Park.
Pumping board park mode.
Probably like, I don't know, 30,000 or something.
I hear
Yeah.
you. You'll sell
Listen,
that.
it'll be grand.
Your shows in the courthouse always sell out. So like.
Yeah, but now listen, this is going to be an interesting one. Now we're on that. I don't know if this will be announced by then, but I'm doing 2 nights in the courthouse on the 16th and 17th of October, and it's a special recording. I'm recording my role play show, which you were.
Yeah, don't go with shite. No,
Yeah,
it was great. It was really great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but we had a great time touring. It was a lot of fun. And
The Road Warriors.
yeah, and that podcast will be on Patreon if it's ever put together, because it was brilliant. That was a lot of fun too. That
Should just pay me out of for you.
I know you could have done. Yeah, but
I can video edit. That's no bother.
right. Well, we'll talk about that after. But yeah, I'm recording that. The tickets are probably out now. I'll link them here. But speaking of that, you have a big show coming up.
I do indeed.
A
Yeah.
big show. The floor.
Well, I'm doing the Sunflower, 29th
Yeah.
of September, with my new show, Grow Up.
Yep.
And it is not that far from sold out. Actually, I think there's maybe 10 or 12 tickets left.
Now, at time of recording, if maybe they bounce, there may not be another.
We don't know yet. There may or may not. Really, it comes down to see if these 10 or 12 go very quickly.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll put on another one. But if it's like,
But now, in terms of what the content's going to be, is it the stuff that I would have seen before?
a lot of the
some
stuff
new?
actually you'd have seen on the tour is
Yeah.
not on the show because it's older
Okay,
material.
yeah.
So it's I sat down for worked it out. I think the vast majority of it is all post the end of my marriage. So that's post January. A couple of little bits that are from last year.
Yeah.
But I haven't done a full length show in 7 years.
What? As long as that?
Yeah, well, I did a show in
Wow.
2019.
Yeah.
But it was, in 2018 I did a full length show, but it was all old material called Al the Best. And then I did a show in 2019 that was entirely about EastEnders.
Now, I just want to say before I want to talk about that EastEnders show, but I have seen some of the stuff and it's great. And I feel like you're on fire at the minute. You're on form.
This
really,
year's felt like a good year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, yourself included, who I think are funny, have been telling me I'm funny, which is just like that's all the validation. Like obviously it's great. The audience is like, yeah, and there's been a lot of over the last few months, quite a few people have dropped me messages and stuff just to be like, oh, saw you there and you were great or whatever. But it's the respect of your peers is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
because it's a weird thing. 'Cause it doesn't often come. You know, it's a weird. I think like a lot of time, whenever maybe you're finding your feet a bit, people are like, oh, this guy. May have preconceived notions of what you're like and stuff, and then you know when you get to think with our age of like zen contentment.
Yeah.
Once you're happy with yourself, you almost become funnier.
well, that's and I think what happened as well was like. I feel like the general consensus on me was he should be gigging more. Like he's not doing. And then this year I went, do you know what? Fuck it. Like, obviously my marriage broke up. I'm like, I suddenly have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Now is the time to throw yourself really into it, you know. And I did, and it seems to have been paying off, which is great.
But I think with you, it's like it's good that people would, I think, get a bit frustrated because they're like, you are very good, you know, you're very funny, and it's great to be seeing you doing more, and I love it. It's great.
No, I'm glad.
I would recommend people go and see it.
So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think, you know, as a comedian, you're never going to go. It's going to be brilliant. That's so weird, but I feel more confident than I have in the past about my ability, and I'm like, I think it's going to be a fun time. And do you know what's nice about it as well? It's a Sunday. It's at 5:00, right?
Oh yes.
So the Sunflower Comedy Club's on after, which of course you can get tickets for as well. So it's the show basically runs 5 to 7, and then you can have a few pints, get the train, bus, whatever home, and you'll be home in time for Match of the Day too.
Perfect. Or you could stay. Are you going to stay and have a few toots?
Oh, well, not toots.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not going to know. I'm
Well,
not
it
on a
depends.
Oasis gig,
It depends how good the show goes.
That's
you
true.
know,
I might need more than a few toots, but
imagine it goes great and you're telling people after you a few toots and all after, and you just get up and you just come on stage and you just and you begin stage and you just look out in the crowd and just see loads and loads of mod haircuts and parka coats. You're like,
and I
oh,
just
this
go,
is
well,
so
I know what to do
nice.
here.
Yeah.
I live my life in the city. But yeah, I'm looking for 29th of September. You get the tickets on Eventbrite, but just go to my Instagram on there.
But Alan, you know what? That's a lovely way, I think, to wrap it up. It's been a real fun time having
has
you here.
been
It's
fun.
been I've had a great
We
time.
need to do this more often, Dave.
You know what we do, and I think we're actually going to be doing some more soon anyway. So I was going to say we're doing Shane's podcast, but I don't know when that's going to be in a week after.
A couple of weeks. But
It'll be there. You can enjoy it, and we're working on some other stuff together too, which is always nice. I always like to have a reason to see somebody, because I think it's an age
What is
thing.
it?
And a
It's also a
post-COVID thing.
comedian thing. It's
Yeah.
like every time you socialise with comedians, you go, why don't we just do this more often without there being a gig?
Yeah, but because then I also think we are at our core a difficult. Now, what I like about you and I respect about you is you're a man who enjoys what you enjoy. You're you're into your weird kinks and you like what you like. But
You're talking about wrestling, essentially.
but I mean, like you know what you like. You know there's no like malice with a lot of people. You know, you do your own thing and that's it. And like I like my own company. I like to just sometimes just sit and be grumpy about things. And I enjoy that.
There was this thing my ex-wife said to me that she got from like her parents or something, and it's such a simple phrase and it's such an eye-opener. You go, nobody gives a fuck about you.
Yeah.
But I mean that as a good thing.
Yeah, no, 100%,
people get very self-conscious and worried about, if I do this, what are people thinking? And blah. Most of the time, people do not think about you.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say as somebody who gets up in front of audiences, but like, you know, you go, what if somebody found out that I like that music? You're like, nobody's gonna give a fuck.
Yeah,
That's.
But what do you think? Like, as a comedian, what do you think some of the motivating factors are of being a comedian? Because I think you see, whenever maybe people are coming through, or you see people and you be like, oh, they just love themselves, and you have some who are like, they don't. Like, getting in front of an audience and being funny, I don't do it because I'm like, oh, everyone look at me. I just really enjoy it.
Well, there's an argument I heard. I think it was Mark Maron talked about it actually on WTF.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, great.
Just a great
for like
grumpy
long
man.
form interviews.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing about comedians become comedians to control why people laugh at them. So that at some point in every comedian's life, or a lot of comedians' lives, somebody has laughed at you and it's upset you.
Yeah.
But if you're in control of the laughs,
Yes.
then that's like and we're getting very therapy speak here, but it's like recontextualizing trauma. So you like take control of something that you didn't have control over.
Yeah.
But then also sometimes people just do it because it's fun. And then there's some people, which, you know, warning speaking as a guy who's been doing this for like 14 years now, don't do it because you think it's cool, because it's really not.
You know what? That's always the advice I would give people, and I think it's a sign that I think once you realise this is not cool.
It's not rock and roll.
Once you realise that, like, because that's, again, the people who are not within it. Like, I suppose when I started going out with Catherine, she's thought, it's like, oh, you must have this wild life. You're going to all these gigs, people are throwing themselves at you and all. It's like, you go and you sit in a storeroom.
Yeah.
And you drink a Diet Coke.
And especially now, because people are doubling up and a lot of people are full-time. You're there, you're in the building for about an hour, and then you go and do something else. Or sometimes you go, I got kids at home and all, I'm just going to go home. Like, I'm not going to leave before the end of the show. Yeah.
And I think that's it. And I think that, like, comedy, I'd say it affords you it affords you opportunities to be in pretty cool situations.
Yeah.
But it in and of itself is not cool. If you're going up and look at me, I'm so cool, you're not going to be funny.
Yeah, the reason to be a comedian is you go, I think I'm pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I like writing jokes.
Yes.
And if you like that, you'll be fine. You don't, I'm always like, anybody who goes to me, how would you recommend starting? It's like, just go and do it.
Yeah.
Just book a gig. A lot of people get wedded to it. I understand some people this does help them, but they go, oh, I need to do like a 12-week course or whatever. It's like, just sign up and do it.
But you know what? It's a weird thing. I think ultimately you need to have funny bones too. You know, there's some people who think they can learn it, and I
think there's this thing I heard about novels one time, right, where they said almost everybody could write one book and almost nobody could write two.
Yeah.
And I think almost anybody could, if they worked at it long enough, could do a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But what's the next 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if you, I don't know, if on your bucket list you'd love to do it once or something, you probably could write 5 minutes of jokes with some help and get it into a reasonably, but it's the, comedy never ends. It's no, like, you don't go, this thing's done, you just move on to the next thing.
Because I was trying to explain to Catherine earlier about, like, she's like, well, what's your favourite part? And I think my favourite part is figuring a bit out.
See, whenever there's a bit you try and it doesn't work, and then 6 weeks later you crack it and then it works, it's the most satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like doing new material.
Yeah.
Like, there just isn't. Old material can be fun, and sometimes you find new bits in your old material and all that. But when you go, I've had a thought, and then you get up and say it, and people go, that's funny, that's the best.
Yeah. Because, like, we did a work in progress show a couple of weeks ago, and it was an awkward one because I got asked to do it maybe sort of when they're booking the festival, that I have a show that I want to do in the big venue, and I went, absolutely not. I did it last year. It'll no. And it's like, I'll do a work in progress, and I don't think I was anywhere near prepped for it by the time I got close to it.
You couldn't tell.
But it was a fun night, and see now I'm like, they
were a great crowd. That courthouse is a lovely room. I'm
brilliant.
doing it again, opening for Mickey, I think 2 nights actually, and sometime in October.
Yeah, and also you're going to maybe do 1 or 2 next week too. So why?
It's all happening.
Special. That's another thing too. Special recording. So now I'm being a fitness guy because I've been such a lazy bastard. And again, part of that comedy thing we were talking about, where you like to laugh at your trauma. I'm like, oh, I get a lot of fat jokes there. So now I'm like, no, I need to stop. I fall back on that all the time.
Else.
Yeah,
you still be an ex-fat guy. That's fine.
Yeah, no, true. And I'll still always be fat. Like, I just won't be as fat, hopefully.
And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just like being tall or short. It's just a description.
But then, you know what? That's fair and good, and I'm all for body positivity and people feeling good about themselves. But when you're married to a nurse that keeps going, think about your tubes. You think more than
think about your tubes.
Your tubes, like
you're always thinking about your tube. That's the problem.
No, that's exactly. I can't find it. And it's grey and small, so don't worry about it. Alan, it's been a pleasure. Where can people find you other than outside schools?
Picking up my girlfriend. Yeah, very funny.
Thank you. Thank you.
At Alan Irwin Comedian on Instagram is probably the best bet, and also you can find there my 2 podcasts. If you like The Simpsons, Stupid Sexy podcast, and if you like wrestling, The Worst There Was. Also, actually follow Kill Your Darkness Comedy for the gigs that I run with Ronan Esky. We've had a lot of fun things there, and hopefully we'll have you again very shortly.
Yes, no, hopefully, because there's lots of stuff to figure out. But you got at me a wee bit there, or just going back. We'll just end off this about not ever having you on the wrestling podcast, Ada Willie. Yours has been running much longer and still much better, and I've never been asked to be on it. So
well, you sort of have. We just haven't.
You know,
we haven't got to the point in the cycle yet where we have guests, but you'll be on.
Yeah, but no, you've had guests already. You've had guests. You know, but if there's an exclusive episode about ass, I want on Billy Gunn, not just.
I was going to say because otherwise, like, surely William Thompson's going to be on that one.
Well, true, but I like the critique, not to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
no.
Yeah, the ass normer. Great gimmick.
I'm an ass nom.
I was going to make a noise, but it would have turned me.
Do it.
And that was the noise William would make too, the ass goblin. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Alan Irwin, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
I'm the sly guy.